I know them without reading a comic book or anything. And those were the kind of heroes that have been with us for the longest time.
I also feel like a lot of it, I was having this conversation with somebody, the heroes that people tend to know the best are the ones that you'll notice they all had TV shows, like reaching pretty far back.
Spider-Man, yes, Spider-Man, Hulk.
Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. If you go back to 60s and 70s, they all fucking had TV shows.
Superman was the earliest, George Reeves in the 30s.
Yeah, I was going to say Batman had a vaguely racist show back in the black and white days.
The serials, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
when he drove a normal car, had a gun, and was fighting Japanese people.
And talking with Indians going like this. Do I have those? I have them somewhere. I know I bought them.
I would love to watch some of those.
You need to just watch like one or two, and then it's like, okay, I get the idea.
Oh, wow. It was racist. I get it now.
Was it? Yeah.
No. Yes, it was.
It got racist.
Listen, I get it. I get it. We were fighting the Japanese in World War II, but then you throw George Takei in an internment camp, and it's a shameful thing. You know what? I'm just glad as a country that we haven't done something like that again.
So we started the show.
You can tell that we started the show because I'm saying things that are awful. God damn.
You know, I wanted to kind of bring up that we call the show On the Rocks, but we don't drink really on the show. Like even our
we
first...
usually eat, honestly.
Yeah, we usually eat more than drink. I mean, we can't really do it right now because both of us just woke up and it's a Monday.
Do you want to bring back, anytime we do a movie review, that we do the signature drink like we used to?
We could try that, yeah.
It'll be cheaper, too, because we don't actually have to fucking make it.
No, we don't have
theater of the mind.
Yes. Also, we have a nice bar over there. I still have a lot of booze left over at my house. This is a concoction that we can make.
All right, well, we do have our 2 non-alcoholic ginger beers that we're chilling right now.
Oh, we're going to get them out. We're going to get those out.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to... Well, it is Pride Month, right?
I have... Yeah.
We can drink those.
I don't know what you're insinuating. I think they're fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of On the Rocks, a conversational podcast about movies. I'm Paul Danino Braun.
And I'm Dave. And we're going to be talking about DC, like, as a whole.
That's right. Just like Infinity War, and to a lesser, much less satisfying extent, The Last Jedi, we are fist-fucking the mold of this show.
We haven't really, we've established something, but, not...
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's usually every episode we review one movie, but this, Oh, no. Oh, how tantalizing. We're doing something different.
We're going to go through the entire history of DC, from the rise to the inevitable fall, and now the pathetic terribleness that it's kind of limping on. Kinda.
I have to be honest, after Justice League, I was like, so, we're done? We're done, right? And then it was like, no, man, Aquaman is filming right now, and also Wonder Woman 84. I'm like,
You know what? Let's lead up to our discussions about that. Have you seen, the production stills?
I've seen both? 2, and one of them, specifically for Wonder Woman 84, is very confusing.
Yes. Yeah. But so let's start at the very beginning, our childhood.
All right, we're going back to our childhood.
Paul, what was one superhero that you that you saw that you could be like, I want to be that person. I want to run around and be that person.
Well, for anyone who knows me, they would very much expect the answer to be one superhero in particular. I do, in fact, have tattoos of this hero on my body.
Yeah.
But the answer is not Spider-Man. The very first hero that I loved, that I watched religiously, that I liked before it was fucking cool to like him. I liked him back when liking the shit got you beat up, is Batman.
Yeah.
Batman is who, and if you put a gun to my head, Paul, who's the definitive Batman?
It's Kevin Conroy.
It's Kevin Conroy.
It's Kevin Conroy.
And,
And Mark Hamill is the Joker.
Yes.
It's pretty much, no question, that's
Literally no.
them.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Batman, our first like big hero. The same thing. It was more the movie. Actually, it was Batman Forever. Really,
me too.
that kind of cemented that.
Terrible.
It was
not a good
terrible.
movie, but listen, we were kids. We're both what,
Yeah.
91, 92?
What was that? Was that 92?
No, what year? were you born?
Oh, yeah, it was.
So that's like how you tricked us in. You're like, here's the neon colors. Here's Jim Carrey being an ass. Here's Tommy Lee Jones doing his best melting candle impression.
Yes.
And
Literally.
but that gets you into like the animated series, which is so good.
Yeah.
And then you go back and watch the Tim Burton movies, which, listen, hot take, guys. I love everyone. The first Tim Burton Batman movie is a terrible Batman movie.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie, but as a
No.
Batman movie, he flat out murders like a lot of people. He uses guns. It's
pretty
like
much-
Batman v Superman.
He pretty much murders everyone throughout his film career, basically.
Well, yeah, I know. I might have done a breakdown of everyone that Batman has killed.
Check out the
just
link
in the
here.
Nolan movies alone. I think he killed almost as many people as the Joker did.
Did he kill anybody in Batman Forever? I think he... Well, he killed Two-Face, kind of.
Yeah, right
Kinda.
after giving a speech about,
Justice and fairness,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And he does that again later in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... Listen, we can have a whole conversation as to whether or not Batman should kill.
Yes.
I actually have a very controversial opinion that he just should, because the reality is he does. In every movie he's in, he kills someone.
But he's not supposed to. And
That's
like,
true, but that doesn't translate to film
It
ever
can,
in a
though.
way that makes sense.
It can, though.
I don't know if it can.
It can.
I think
But-
he should highly resist it. But when push comes to shove,
Then he becomes the Punisher in a cowl. And that's not interesting to me anymore.
I don't know. I mean, how else could they possibly have gotten around the ending of The Dark Knight?
But anyway,
Fair enough. We'll get to that.
we're getting to that. It's
Right.
all coming to that. Trust me. It's going to lead up into the Justice League, and the last thing we're probably going to talk about is the Wonder Woman and Aquaman stuff.
So me growing up, Batman.
Batman.
I'm
Big-
gonna go ahead and guess you as well.
Yes, same thing. Like I said, Batman Forever. It was kind of it's cemented him in my brain.
Val Kilmer's Bat Nipples drew me in.
and then the TV show, which funny that you should say that it would get you beat up for that, because literally I remember specifically one of my friends, I was having a conversation with him over the phone, and I was watching the TV show. I had it on DVD at the time, and you hear the theme music blasting in the background. It's like, you watching Batman? And I was like, no, I'm not. And I quickly turn it down. It's like, I don't want to be uncool, but it's a fucking great show.
I know. Wait, hold on. I don't know. I probably have shown you this.
Uh-oh. Now I got a vamp because he's walked away from the mic.
Vamp.
Oh, yeah. You showed me, yes. Yeah.
My nerddom knows no bounds. I do have the Mondo vinyl for the animated series soundtrack.
Is that like all of them or just the...
It's just the main titles, the end credits, and then the alternate ending and beginning.
Oh, I thought... They put out like a big, like, set.
Yeah, well, this is also cut to look like the bat symbol, so they couldn't fit that much on it.
Well, they also have the Superman one, which brings me into my next thing, Superman. One of the most recognizable heroes around the world.
Of course, played by Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, George
Technically.
Reeves, Christopher Reeves,
Technically,
Dean Cain,
Yeah.
Brandon Routh.
Roth?
I think it's Routh.
All joking aside, did you see the video that they released recently?
Who? Brandon Routh?
Brandon Roth, Dean Cain.
Oh, that was-
when
yeah, that was
Yeah,
the-
he's like, you're in the Superman club now. We all
Yeah.
played Superman.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of adorable. They all
Yes,
hung
that
out
was-
in like a treehouse.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Conroy was in that episode. It's like, what's his name? He played Superman in the Justice League cartoon. Forgot his name.
Kevin Conroy?
No.
You mean
No, Kevin Conroy's in that thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they got the guy who played.
Yes.
Which,
But it was...
I'll say he's probably one of the most iconic Superman voices, at least. Like that guy.
There's two.
There are two for the.
There's two. The Superman the Animated Series has a different one than the Justice League.
No way. I really like the Justice League one.
I like both. I like the Justice League one a little bit more because I grew up with that one more. But Superman, Batman have dominated pop culture ever since they came out in the 1930s and 40s. We've had the Max Fleischer cartoon. We had the George Reeves show in the 40s or 50s.
Now, was the George Reeves one the one where he would change into a cartoon every time he flew?
No, I think you're thinking of the Max Fleischer cartoon. They're not together.
Oh, okay.
They're totally different things.
No, I have a distinct memory of watching an old black and white Superman show that was live action, but like they'd use like the transition of like whenever he flew, like he literally turned into a cartoon for the few frames that was on.
Maybe that's what they did, but
it was
I
like
know
Roger Rabbit. Like they literally just drew on the fucking cell.
Well, all I knew from the show, from one episode, to show his strength, he would just bust through a styrofoam wall.
It's great.
And like that's it.
Wow, how could he break through drywall?
But like,
isn't segregation hilarious? I'm just trying to imagine what the dialogue would be like in the 30s.
Probably awful.
Yeah.
Probably even more racist than what you could come up with.
Speaking of Superman and racism.
Superman 3?
No.
Oh.
I was going for more the Superman serials on the radio that they use as a code to fuck with the Ku Klux Klan back in the day.
Oh, I don't even know about this.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole thing. They actually did an episode on Drunk History about it.
Oh boy.
I'll pull that up later. We can add that to funny little addendums at the end.
Nice. But speaking of racism in the 30s and 40s, Batman also had a serial in theaters.
Which, my God, everything looked so bad on it.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Like the OG Superman costume, and maybe because it's more of a simplistic costume.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
it's
Batman when the ears and the cowl just looked redonkulous.
Yeah. And from there on, it was only them. Like, literally, it was kind of only them for a very long time. You had the Adam West Batman, which pretty much is really, like, that's pop culture. Like, right there. That is the key thing right there.
Which, you ever really stop and think how fucking just bizarre that thing's existence was? Like, it's so antithetical to, like, everything about the character.
And as it went on, it just got stranger and stranger.
Some days you just can't get rid of mom.
I think that was, like, before the TV show. That was the start.
That was
the start, yeah.
Did you... We are excluding one show, though.
Well, we have Wonder Woman?
No, like...
Oh, before them.
Wasn't there a black and white Shazam one?
I'm not sure.
With him jumping on fucking trampolines off of shit and like...
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I'm trying to go back to when we had the superhero class and at Five Towns. I remember covering another, but it was like a talkie.
Yeah.
I think it was Shazam. Believe it or not, I'm walking on man. Okay.
Was that in the thing back in the 40s?
No, that was like the 60s one. I think what's-his-face, Rorschach was in an episode of that one.
Really? Michael Earl Haley?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's got he's more nerd shit. But yeah, like even that, the 66 Batman, which kind of tarnished superheroes in a sense, because it was so campy and so bizarre. It's like, how can this possibly work in any kind of serious format?
And that's when the director of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever said, "Motherfucker, hold my beer.
Yeah.
It's Pride Month and Batman should be fabulous. Give him nipples."
What did he say about Mr. Freeze? He should be like sculpted from ice. Yeah.
Not me. You know what? I love that man. I have to say, very controversial take. I think Batman and Robin is amazing. And I think the reason everybody hates it is because we're all watching it through the wrong lens. We all expected it to... He made a campy love letter to Adam West. And if you watch it like that, you're like, oh, this all kind of works now. It's objectively terrible, but it's intentionally like that.
It's still objectively terrible.
But it's so much fun.
Yes. Watch it with a group of friends.
Drink some alcohol.
Yes, and get properly wasted within the first 10 minutes, and everything will be that much better. Speaking of which, the guy that Uma Thurman kills in that movie...
The Doctor?
Yes, he is the Riddler in the animated series, and he plays Lex Luthor's father in Smallville.
Huh.
Yes.
I never watched Smallville.
Yes, I only saw one episode, and he happened to be on it. So I was like, oh, you! His name is John Glover? Not related to any of the other ones, because...
Any of the both of them.
Any of them.
There's more than two?
Probably. Who knows? There's a ton of Glovers going around. Tons of gloves.
That joke was very childish. Gambino.
I was going to make like a mafia thing, but I guess whatever. I'm too tired. I've been up since 12.
Yeah, I should note, we are recording, it is 2:45, and I have been awake for about 40 minutes.
Yeah. I've kind of just run out of steam. Once I got to Paul's house, I just sat on sat on his couch and was like, Paul, just give me a minute.
Yeah, I work the night shift, so I got home at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, I work, 12. Would you consider 12 the night shift?
Midnight?
Midnight, yeah.
Yeah. Any fun train stories from last night?
No.
Oh.
No fun train stories. But this one girl that got on recently... On the train. She had to go to Penn Station, but she got on the wrong train going east. And I was trying to explain to her that this train makes one last stop, and that's it. It's not going anywhere else, and it's not going to Penn Station. And she just could not fathom it. And I was just too tired to dumb down dumbing down of what I said.
I don't know. That's pretty ground level. You said flat out, this isn't going where you want to go.
I literally said that. I was like, you're going in the wrong direction. Hop on the next train over there that's going to lead you to where you need to go. And she's like, but is that going to bring me back to the station that I started from? Technically, yes. But it's going to bring you past that. Unlike this train, which is going nowhere.
Look at you. You're going nowhere.
You're going nowhere fast.
Listen, man. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it eat Skittles.
That's true.
You can't make them taste that rainbow, even during Pride Month.
So, talking about Pride Month, back to Batman 66. Yeah, it's crazy how much they tarnished that, and to the point where they didn't make really a live-action Batman show for a long time. I guess you could say Gotham, right?
So it's funny, I always kind of took issue with Gotham. I felt that the show just didn't have enough balls to commit to its own premise.
Yeah.
Which was, from what I understood, they were trying to do like a GCPD thing where it just followed the police while Batman was a thing.
Well, that's what they were going to do.
Yeah, but then they pushed out and they ended up just doing, like, you ever see the Patton Oswalt bit about him traveling back in time to murder George Lucas with a shovel?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you get to see Joker as a little kid. And you get to see Batman as a little kid. And I'm like thinking, okay, I'm sorry. This doesn't work because all of Batman's villains exist and he's like 15. Like,
yeah.
Are they all like just 20 or 30 years older than him when he finally becomes Batman? Because it's pretty widely accepted, I thought, that Batman became Batman in his late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. It's pretty much what happened. But now he's fighting geriatric villains, and it's
not as fun when a mentally ill person beats up somebody several decades older than them.
Even though they're still mentally ill. Doesn't make it right.
I'm sure there's some therapists that listen to us. Can you punch away mental illness?
No.
Oh.
Oh. But so we go from there to Wonder Woman. Linda Carter?
Yes.
Lydia? Linda?
No, Linda.
Linda. It's Linda. Okay, cool. She's there, and she cements the female superhero. And again, it's super iconic because you can use the term Wonder Woman or Superman in any kind of sense. It's like, Paul, you're running around everywhere. Who are you trying to be? Superman? Or, it's something like that.
To the point that they literally made that joke in the first Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Like,
it's that ingrained in our culture.
Yeah, I mean, Superman it's almost like the word Kleenex, where you can say Kleenex instead of tissue. You can say Superman instead of superhero. People just get it.
And so, jumping forward, because we have the Batman animated TV series, which is highly regarded as being like one of those great superhero shows. Same with the Justice League, and same with a couple other things.
To a lesser extent, I think Batman Beyond was very good. It was a
Yeah.
continuation of... it's funny. They kind of had their own little shared universe going on in the animated series long before,
Yeah.
And
everybody wanted that shared universe, but in live action form, where kind of counted.
It's much harder.
Yeah, it is much harder. To the point where they teased us. I don't know if you remember, in I Am Legend, like in the beginning.
Yes, with the poster for Batman v Superman.
And that was around the time where they rebooted Superman. That's the Brandon Routh one.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Brandon Routh, and then
was it? That was more of a deboot though, because it was supposed to take place after the events of Superman 2.
Yes.
It's kind of like what they're doing with the new Halloween.
Yes. Where they kind of disregard
a certain portion of the existing
franchise. And Bryan Singer was such a fan of the first one, where he kind of made a love letter to Richard Donner's
Bryan Singer. That kid's going places.
Oh yeah, he's going right up kids' buttholes. Sniffing cocaine.
And quitting his movies about Queen.
Well, that's on him. Anyway.
Actually, he got fired.
Oh, he got fired?
He got fired.
Oh, nice. Good for you, Brian. We're on a first-name basis, which I don't think is good.
No, you don't want to be on
No, I don't want to be first-name basis with him.
Yeah, he's a
scumbag.
A little bit of a creep from what I've heard.
He made 2 really good X-Men movies.
I would say 3.
3?
Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
I'd say X-Men 1 and 2.
Oh.
First one's pretty good.
First one's all right. Which brings us into our new age. So we've had pretty much 8 decades
of DC holding it down. Now, to be fair, we did get, weirdly enough, in that interim, a very well-known Hulk TV show with Lou Ferrigno as the motherfucking Hulk.
We've had Spider-Man in both an animated thing and then like in the Electric Company, and he was like all over the fucking place.
Yeah, Spider-Man, the level of quality out of him was weird. There was the Japanese live-action show.
Yeah.
There was a regular American live-action show, wasn't there? Very, very briefly.
I think you're thinking of the Electric Company.
Okay, I must be thinking of that.
Yeah.
Then there was the 60s animated one.
Yes, which I think everybody knows.
And the very iconic 90s animated one.
Yes.
Remember there was a fucking CG, like, MTV-produced Spider-Man show that ran, like, one season?
Was that 2000s? Or
yeah,
was
in the
that
2000s. It was weird.
Yeah. But apparently it was very good, right?
I remember liking it, but certain things really bothered me. Namely, like, the model for Spider-Man only had like 2 levels of damage, and it was like a huge slash across his chest. It's like anytime he got fucking injured, it was the huge slash over and over again. And I'm like, guys, he got electrocuted. How the fuck? Why is he cut?
Why is this gash across his chest?
I remember it being decent though.
Yeah, and speaking of Hulk and Spider-Man, those were the first kind of 2 movies. I mean, you had Captain America. And you had kind of Fantastic Four, kinda.
Well, there was the Roger Corman produced
that's what I'm saying.
Fantastic Four that was never released.
Well, that's what I'm saying, kind of.
Yeah.
But
there were 2 Captain America movies. There was the one where all he does is steal cars the whole time.
Yes, that's the well-known one.
oh, I'm feeling ill. And then there was the second one with, wasn't Red Brown in it? From
Well, that was
Your
that was
Sister's a Werewolf?
think so.
The Howling 2, the guy from The Howling 2, I'm pretty sure played Captain America in the sequel.
He was on a motorcycle.
Yes.
But that
With
was
the
the
shield that was partially see-through.
Well, the J.D. Salinger's kid was the one where he steals cars. That's the second one that came out in the 90s.
That was the 90s?
That was the 90s.
You know what blows my mind, people? Because, like, we all think, like, wow, that movie, it looks so old. Terminator 2.
Terminator
Looks like any movie that would come out today.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
91.
91.
Jurassic Park 1.
Jurassic Park 1, I rewatched it, and, like, holy shit, that looks like something that could come out. Maybe the last 5 years.
There's something like only 14 total minutes of CG in the movie.
And it works.
And in the same scene, they mix puppets, CG, and all this other stuff. You know, they almost use claymation.
Good thing they didn't.
Well, because at that point, that was really the only alternative.
And it holds up.
It's one of the first mainstream movies. It was that, along with Terminator 2 and what's it called? The Adventures of Young Sherlock Holmes or some bullshit.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I know what you're talking about.
Those were the first movies to use like CG, to create a character
and integrate it so well. Well, maybe not Young Sherlock Holmes. We can't say for sure, but
yeah.
But the other two definitely.
Yes.
And from there, you get, because we're going to go into the 2000s now, where at this point it's kind of much, equaled out, where we haven't had a Superman movie in quite a while. We haven't had a Batman movie in a couple years because that was...
Yeah, so I think we should quick step back and now go through, because we went through the TV history of everything, which is important, because I would say that on some level, the TV shows can permeate pop culture more than the movies can, because the movies are a singular event, whereas the TVs are an ongoing thing that every Saturday morning you gotta watch.
And especially around that time, from the 50s to the 70s was like the big TV boom, basically.
Exactly. So now jumping into movies.
Yes.
Up until this point, not even a contest.
Yeah.
Like you said, we had the 2 Captain America movies. We had the Fantastic Four movie, which was not even released.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And apart from that, was there any other Marvel movie made?
There is a Doctor Strange movie, which was god-awful, and it stars Mallory from Archer.
Wow.
As the villain, I think.
Gonna need to watch that.
No. No.
Yeah.
But yes, other than like those weird outliers, Superman 1979 comes out, big hit.
You'll believe a man can fly, and
boy, do you really do. I mean, the effects in that are incredible, and the story really does hold up. There are some cheesy, campy aspects.
Yeah.
Put in the scream and the flying around the world.
That's not how time travel works.
No.
If anything, if he were to increase his speed, he would travel into the future, but that's just physics.
Somebody explained it that it's not
dilation.
Him going back in time or something like that. I forgot, I can't
if you rotate the world backwards. First off,
listen,
if you stop the rotation of the world, we're all traveling. The closer to the equator you are, the faster you're moving. You're moving like something like 2,000 miles an hour or something like that, just based on rotation. You'd fly off the fucking planet. Gravity would stop working. Like it would be bad.
It's Superman, Paul, and it's the late 70s.
All right. Actually, I don't know if gravity would stop working. I don't think that was accurate. I don't want to be scientifically wrong. It's also crazy with the Superman movies, this steep drop off in quality. It's like Superman 1, great. Superman 2, troubled production, but you yielded 2 good movies out of it, I would say.
It's still considered to be...
the best.
Yeah, one of the best, yeah.
But then Superman 3.
Yes. It's a severe drop, and then 4...
Nuclear Man.
Which is...
Did you know that Superman had the superpower to build brick walls back up?
with his eyes, right?
And
Doesn't he
also,
shoot-
everyone can breathe in space. Like, he picks up, like, a secretary, and, like, they fly into space, and she's
that
like...
Lois Lane?
No, it was, like, the
Oh, it
redhead.
wasn't even Lois Lane. Jesus.
They, that was canon, right?
That was
Didn't
canon. That's when canon picked it up.
Oh,
And that was the end of that.
yeah. It's just, like, people... You could just tell people didn't give a shit at that point. Like, the
No.
people making it didn't care.
I think especially after 3, because I think 3 was considered a bomb, and so that's probably why canon got
Yeah.
Superman, the rights to Superman at that point.
What's Eartha Kitt up to these days?
Who?
What? Catwoman?
Oh, isn't she dead?
Oh.
She's
no.
6 feet under. Or at least I think so. I hope not. Maybe she's listening right now. If that's the case, I'm so sorry.
Eartha, baby. Loved you in,
Emperor's New Groove.
yeah. You're very funny.
Yeah.
Also, props to you for, you know, being a black Catwoman back in the day when that probably wasn't easy,
Yeah, in the 60s. Yeah, definitely.
you know, and Holly Berry done fucked up.
Oh, shit. I've completely forgotten about that.
Yeah, we'll get into that, and that's more of a commentary on why female superhero movies weren't happening.
Yeah.
So we have the Superman movies,
Now we get to Batman, which is a decade later.
and the difference in the way they treated the character. Now, in hindsight, we look at Batman '89. It's got some cheesy moments.
Yes.
And a lot of you who watch it are probably wondering, why the fuck is there so much Prince in this movie?
Well,
Like, why are there multiple dance and song numbers in a Batman movie?
Well, it's because Prince was signed to Warner Brothers at the time to make music, so he was in contract with them, and he was popular at the time, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if he ever per se stopped being popular, but he
I
was
mean, that was the
definitely
height,
big.
the height of his popularity.
I'm pretty sure the only way the Batman movie got made is if there were some multiple,
You really
multiple
think
Prince
that?
songs.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm pretty sure that was part of like getting it made. Was like they needed to be able to,
And you know, the more I think about it, and since you brought it up,
because it stands out.
it stands out really, like, because how many of the...
There's two. There's Party Man and the
and then the float,
and then the float thing.
Yeah.
And like think about it. The movie comes to a screeching fucking halt for a Prince song.
yeah.
A very dark, moody, atmospheric, pretty serious take on the character,
But-
and Prince.
You can
It kind of works only because it's the Joker.
Yes, it's only during the Joker scenes that plays.
You want to get nuts? What? Bruce
And then
Wayne.
Prince plays in the background.
You know, following that scene, I don't know if they shot it, but they did write and storyboard it. There was supposed to be a sequence where Batman fought the Joker in the middle of the day, and he was riding like a fucking horse.
Okay.
Like, it was right after he gets shot, like, he changes into the suit and, like, jumps out the building or whatever, and there's, like, a horse just chilling. I guess it's, like,
In
a police
Gotham
horse.
City, there's
it's
just a horse?
There are horses chilling everywhere in New York City. Think about it.
No, it's too much.
Well, that's
Thank God
why
that's
they-
not in there. But there are campy, kind of cheesy elements, but it still has that gothic, dark
Yeah.
tone. You see the Joker electrocute somebody to death and become a juicy skeleton, which I was,
It's pretty gory.
I was kind of like
I
freaked
remember
out
being
and afraid by
fucked
that.
up by what he did to his wife.
Well, not his wife.
His girlfriend,
His
whatever.
girlfriend.
Whatever.
Yeah,
fuck.
whatever. Yeah, he like cuts up her face in the name of art, right?
It's pretty twisted.
Yeah, it's pretty
honestly.
fucked up. And then he just plays it off like it's nothing, like that she just committed suicide, like it's whatever.
Yeah. And, you know, there's also something to be said that movie kind of marked a turning point for action heroes in the sense that leading up to that, you always kind of had to be in good shape and you had to fit the role, like the mold of the classic, like,
Yeah.
strong-jawed action hero. Some people will decry this movie as the movie that made it so that you could just fucking glue muscles onto somebody. But the casting of Michael Keaton did not go over well.
No, to the point where he was getting harassed, and he said,
Because he was Mr. Mom.
"Yeah, he was.
point.
He was a comedic kind of actor. Like he didn't take
Yeah.
that many serious roles. I think it's because he started out with like sketch comedy and stuff like that and variety shows.
He's fucking Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he's Beetlejuice, and he made like a statement. He told the news reporters like, "Listen, there's like kids starving in Africa, and everybody's worried that I'm playing Batman. Like,
Yeah.
let's put this in perspective."
And it's just crazy because he only played Batman twice.
Twice,
But-
that's it.
He is considered by many, not personally by me,
Yeah,
but by many, to be the definitive Batman. And I could see the argument for him being the definitive live-action Batman, definitely.
I see him being as like a good runner-up kind of Batman because he's very unassuming. Like everybody,
That's the thing.
everybody you see is like, oh, Christian Bale. Not like okay, like you get it, like he's built or whatever. But that's not the underlying thing. It's like you just tell by his face and the way he acts.
carries himself.
Yeah, that okay. There's something going on with this guy.
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure that he might be, maybe not, but I'm sure.
Yeah. Nobody would ever look at
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton while he's Bruce Wayne, because he does do the personality slip, and he does it so subtly with the voice.
Yes.
Doesn't do anything overbearing. It's just, I'm Batman.
Yeah. Not it's like it's just like when he's talking to Vicky Vale about like when he brings her into the Batcave and just like is explaining the chemistry behind like the different mixes of like the it's like you can't do hairspray with this perfume or this aftershave or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very just like low key and just not that like it's not you know like it's
Yeah.
not that thematic. It's just under the radar.
Yeah.
It's just simple.
And,
And
when
that's
he's
what amazing.
DJing, we'll get to that.
Batman Returns is the most avant-garde Batman film ever made in the history of Batman.
Also, and I really have to think about it, I think I might like it more than 89.
I like it a little bit more after rewatching it during Christmas
it's-
time. Yeah,
I love the Christmas setting.
yeah.
I just love how
It works with the gothic weirdness.
it does.
And we should also say that these two movies, both Batman and Batman Returns, was the main inspiration for the
animated
show.
series, to the point that the theme from the animated series is a variation on the theme
Yeah.
from the movie.
Yeah.
Now, critically, both widely accepted.
I think the first one more than the second.
Yes.
But they were both big hits. Definitely.
Not really. See, that's the thing. The first one, huge hit. Huge
Yeah,
hit.
yeah.
Critically well accepted.
Yeah.
Second movie, also critically well liked. People liked it. Has some issues. Listen, they're not perfect Batman movies,
No,
but they're both solid attempts. And
They're really solid attempts.
Yeah, like effort was put in. You could see that the people they gave a shit.
Yeah.
The problem with the second one is you have McDonald's toys and scenes with fucking Danny DeVito biting off people's noses, people getting shot, and like
It's definitely more graphic. Christopher Walken gets, again,
oh,
electrocuted.
oh god, she's electrocuting me. It's fucking terrible.
Which I don't really know how... He was wet, right? And then she just puts the taser up to his mouth?
No,
with
but
the-
she grabbed onto a power line.
Wouldn't she die too?
That she had 2 lives left.
Fuck you.
Which
Which
is not a power that Catwoman has usually.
No, I think it's just like...
But whatever. Listen.
I think she was just like having fun with it. Like she wasn't like dying.
She was fucking great though.
She's amazing. Everybody wanted Michelle Pfeiffer back, even to the point in the 2000s they kind of wanted her back. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, they reference her in it.
Yes,
Um.
but yeah, she was
but-
amazing. She was the standout star of that movie.
So, movie didn't really fare well with parents for many
I
reasons.
wonder why.
And it was a dark, depressing movie that frankly ends on a major downer note.
It's also sexually charged, like
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah.
Especially Danny DeVito, and it's like, okay, I can see why you're in Always Sunny.
Oh god, I love Danny DeVito. But it also has one of my favorite fucking scenes in any Batman movie ever. And I wonder if you're gonna guess what scene it is.
Is the one that we reference all the time?
Oh no! Okay. Well,
I guess that's not
quick aside.
more of a line.
Darren, the dad who does impressions, one of my favorite things that Dave and I have ever made, stemmed from us talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Batman
Returns.
Batman Returns. Because there's just one line that is so fucking stupid where Christopher Walken.
Well, because all right, so Batman is trying to talk to Catwoman, and he's like trying to talk her down.
Yeah.
Like, don't kill him. It's not gonna get you anywhere. And so he tries to appeal to her by he rips off his mask, and he shows his face, and it's Bruce Wayne. And all of a sudden, it just cuts.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Why are you dressed like Batman?
And Michelle Pfeiffer, I feel like she broke out. Like, just it wasn't even a line of dialogue. She just said it.
Yeah.
She's just like, because he is Batman, you idiot.
So that became just a running joke with you and I.
Yeah.
Where randomly we'd be in social situations, at bars, driving to go get fucking food during school. And I'd be like, Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed like Batman?
I respond, because he is Batman. It's just stuck out. Like, it's just so weird.
You know what? It's like, you ever rewatch Jaws?
Yes.
And Jaws is a nearly flawless film, except
summer.
for one thing. One thing that stands out. They catch a shark. The whole town thinks, oh, this is it. We got the shark, guys. And Richard Dreyfuss is there, and he's like looking at it. And the guy goes, what kind of shark is this? And Dreyfuss goes, a tiger shark. And the fat guy turns around, a what? How did Spielberg not get another take? What the fuck was that?
I love that.
That is one of the
love
worst
that.
line deliveries I've ever seen.
That is incredible, and of course it stands out. It's supposed to stand out. It's a
Oh,
comedy
what?
line. It's a comedy line. It's meant for comedy.
So,
Anyway,
okay, so we got to the genesis of Darren.
yeah.
My favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes in any Batman movie, and it is going to sound kind of lame because it in no way involves Batman actually in costume. They're at a costume party.
Oh, yes.
Everyone is dressed up except for the two heroes. They're the only ones. Catwoman's not wearing anything. Batman's not wearing anything. They're just wearing suits and dresses respectively because that is their costumes. It's like such a subtle little thing. It's not shoved in your face. It's such a great tense scene because they both realize who they are, and it's just the dread of like, oh no,
Now,
we're not gonna get this happy ending. We're gonna have to fight each other now, aren't we? It's so fucking great.
Yeah.
And it stands out as like a relatively subtle, tense scene in a movie that has Danny DeVito as a penguin person.
Yeah. There's great stuff in it. They do nothing with it, ultimately.
Yeah.
But, like, there's nuggets of, like, okay, I can latch onto this, and it can make a good lasting memory. Like the scene that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Or like,
mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
yeah, like stuff like that. It's fine. Like, it works. Then there was a break.
Yeah, because that one, like we said, it didn't do as well as the box office because it had harsher, more disgusting elements that turned parents off and got McDonald's in trouble.
Oh, it really got McDonald's in trouble.
McDonald's caught serious flack for doing the toy tie-ins because they were like, this movie's like not for kids. And I'm going to be honest, I really don't think that one was made for kids.
Why? I mean, even after the first one, why would they pick it up? Did they do it for the first one? They just got away with it?
Well, because the first one...
I mean, the first one was still gruesome and kind of dark.
But it was a different time. It was 1989. Like, scaring kids was still cool then.
It was 3 years later.
I know, but the 90s were a rough time, man.
Well, hey.
Participation trophies and shit.
You can look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, too.
Yeah.
Same thing happened.
The sequel was not made much longer. What, 2 years?
A year.
A year?
It was a year.
And they had to severely tone down the language, and they basically never use their weapons anymore.
See, I grew up with that one. But that's one we'll save.
Maybe next episode?
Maybe.
Maybe the episode after we do The Guard?
Oh, yes. But so we've had a break. I want to keep that going. But there was a break in time, and we had Batman Forever.
Yes.
Now
there was supposed to be a third Burton movie.
Burton movie, yeah.
Batman Triumphant, which, have you ever read up what it was supposed to be about?
I thought that was Schumacher's third one.
No.
No?
Wait.
Are you sure? I think that was
Maybe that was Schumacher's
That was the
third one. But the
Schumacher's.
weirdest thing is the Schumacher third one
That had Scarecrow.
tied into
The first one, because there was a flashback with Jack Nicholson. They wanted him back.
Yeah.
As the Joker.
See, it's weird because they did the thing that James Bond does, where they kept certain ancillary characters played by the same actors.
Yes.
When they switched over to Schumacher, but the world and the style changed so dramatically. That it's like, this can't possibly be set in the same universe.
Yeah.
But I think it is supposed to be the same universe.
Well, because Tim Burton...
Wait, it is.
Tim Burton was the producer for Forever, but I don't think... But not Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
There's still that, like, gothic element.
Do they use the same theme? I don't think they do, right?
No, they don't use the same
they don't
theme.
use the same thing.
I like that soundtrack, actually, a lot. The guy who made it, I think, is really talented. And I think he won an award, like a best composer thing. I don't think for Batman Forever, but for something else. Yeah. It's like, it's clearly talented, and I like that theme as well.
Now, we had commented on how strange it was that we had Batman 89 and Prince. Now let's just all take a moment as a culture and acknowledge that we accepted this as normal. Batman Forever, Seal, Kiss of a Rose.
Which is apparently a huge hit.
Batman Forever, Seal,
Kiss of a Rose.
We all let that happen.
Yeah.
That happened, and we all said, "Yep, we're cool with this.
Well,
we're fine."
Well, R. Kelly's in the Batman and Robin soundtrack. I have that soundtrack somewhere. I have it.
Fucking.
It's terrible.
Puff Daddy.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Did Godzilla.
Oh yeah. The Smashing Pumpkins song that's in the Watchmen trailer.
The other version of it, the variant version of that, is in Batman and Robin.
There's two.
There's one is literally called. The one in Watchmen is called "The Beginning Is the End Is the Beginning," and
no, they have the same. It's
not the same song.
No, they on the soundtrack.
Yeah,
it starts with one and then ends with the different version.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
God, Watchmen was so good.
Anyway, so
I think it would translate better to a miniseries, which is what they're doing right now. But I think as a film, that is the best version of what that could have possibly been.
Sure, I'll agree to disagree because I want to get off of that fucking movie. Anyway,
okay, fine.
So again, this was a big hit because it was a break from Batman Returns.
And it was exactly what the studio wanted. Super kid-friendly, bright, colorful, safe.
We have Robin.
Marketable.
Yes, marketable, definitely.
Marketable.
I had a bunch of those toys. Those were really cool.
Yeah, and also we brought in, like you said, Robin, played by, fun fact...
Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
Marlon Wayans.
No, it was Chris O'Donnell.
Oh.
Do you know who his father is? Because I didn't know this.
Rosie O'Donnell?
No, but she went to the same high school I did. You're welcome, Pride Month.
Who is his dad?
His dad is Marty O'Donnell, or Martin O'Donnell. You might know him as the composer of Halo.
Oh, shit.
His father is a huge composer who works very much in the video game space and is known for creating one of the most iconic video game themes ever, which is the fucking Halo theme.
Yeah.
He also got fired from Bungie while working on Destiny with Paul McCartney, and there's a huge controversy over that. He was not happy with that. But yeah, so interesting fact.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we're moving on from Batman Forever.
Anything else to say? Just super...
It did what it needed to do, and it was what you said. It was marketable. It was way different, but still kind of keeping that style.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of like, it's not that neon yet.
No, see, the funny thing is, in hindsight, I'm sure at the time people were like, oh my God, it's so blah, blah, blah. But when you look at what comes after it, you look back at Batman Forever and you're like, this is almost like a tasteful middle ground. It's a half measure. You still got some of the dark, creepy stuff. You still have some grotesque imagery. You have Drew Barrymore for some reason. Are you
categorizing that in the grotesque?
Drew Barrymore for some reason. But, it wasn't batshit. It wasn't fucking just... Oh,
You
no.
made a pun.
Oh,
and you
guano.
Ah.
Speaking of batshit, Ace Ventura 2. Jim Carrey was in that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a big year. Well,
Yeah, he was getting...
he had 3 movies in one year that were huge. It was Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask. And then
Yeah.
you have all this stuff coming out afterward.
Which The Mask is so strange because that was supposed to be really violent. It was basically supposed to be a horror movie. That movie's production is one of the most interesting things
We should do
you'll
that.
ever...
We should do that on like a future show.
All right, we're going to write this down. So, so yeah, Batman Forever.
Yeah.
All in all, popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn film, but good.
Tasteful middle ground, like you said.
Yeah.
Then, oh, shit. Oh.
I'll kill you later.
Oh, God. Like, it just...
It's bad.
I don't know. They just let him have the reins, and they're like, whatever, it's a Batman movie, it's gonna sell.
The nipples, man. This is... I mean, the nipples were in the last movie, but
Yes.
the gratuitous butt and codpiece shots, like, it went to the nth degree. It opens up with a joke. This is why Superman works. So, like, the first line is a joke.
Yeah.
Why don't I have a car?
I'm not... It was not well played.
Yeah. I loved Alicia Silverstone's British accent.
I didn't even... Does she have a British accent?
No.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right, because she's supposed to be related to Alfred,
And
but does not have
not
a...
even a little.
Not anything.
Just full-on Valley Girl.
Why? I feel bad for her. But she's coming back, right? Like
She was in The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, I think we can move on from Batman and Robin. I think the internet and the world has said
Yeah, back
so
credit card.
much.
Listen, everything has been fucking said. It's only good if you look at it through the prism of this is a cheesy, campy mess of a movie.
Yeah.
It can be enjoyed like that.
Now,
It
did
is a
that come
mess.
out in 97?
I think so, either 97 or 98.
Because I remember 95 was forever.
Oh, you know what? I'm almost positive it was 98. No. It must have been 97. Because the whole thing was it killed the franchise for a decade.
Yes, because we
Um,
didn't get another Batman movie for 9 years because Batman Begins came out in 2006.
Yeah. So 97.
It was
It was
97.
1997. Jesus Christ. Now,
That was a long time.
that did some damage. It did some damage to the character. He only really existed in that interim in animated form.
Yeah,
We got some cool stuff.
we did.
You know, we got... when did Phantasm come out?
Phantasm came out in 93.
That was... And, you know, it's so funny because when you look at the Batman movies that came out in the 90s, the most adult, serious, and dark one was the one that
was an
at a
animated-
glance,
Yeah,
should have been for kids. I actually had that on Blu-ray. It came out like last year.
me too. I had the same thing.
It is so good.
It
It
is.
is
It's
so
great.
dark. Like Batman like it is just amazing. It might be just as a standalone Batman movie, one of the best.
And it only gets better as it goes on. I love... Because once that second part hits with the Joker and everything,
yeah.
I think it just becomes even better.
Also, how dark is that ending?
It's pretty dark, which kind of lessens the show because it makes... Sorry, we'll spoil it here.
Yeah.
He dies, right? She kills him. Supposedly.
We don't know.
Well, technically, no, because we have the show to go off of.
Yeah, but as a standalone work, we don't see a body.
Yes. So are you saying that it's all the show? Well, no, that's not right.
Like, is this supposed to bookend the show? Or
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Because the way it starts, it makes it seem that Batman is still new.
yeah. Besides, we all know that Tim Drake kills the Joker in the
Yes.
Batman animated series.
In a great way.
Which, my God, you have to watch it's so weird. There's a unrated version of the Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I did know that, but it's so weird to just say that sentence. Like, there's an unrated what?
Well, because when they aired it, like on...
He gets electrocuted.
He gets electrocuted off screen.
Yes.
In the unrated version.
Which is, it also is played as almost an accident, kind of.
Like he slips?
Like he slips and falls into it, and then Tim Drake just hits the switch because, oh, he's here. Whereas in the unrated, Tim Drake makes a definitive choice and shoots him in the fucking chest with a spear that says bang on it.
Yes. Which is a great way to go out.
And
he goes out as like, that's not funny.
And it's like that transition from him laughing as he did it to him sobbing is so chilling.
It's creepy.
It's really good. And it's like that is the ultimate way, I think, to end the Joker in the animated series, because he just pushes Batman too far.
Yeah.
And Batman comes danger zone close to killing him.
Yeah.
But doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So great. So fucking great. The animated series is just so good.
It is really good. There's a lot of great episodes. Now, again, this is 10 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And
it's the longest break.
And even longer for Superman.
Yeah, because now, did we get Batman Begins first, or did we get Returns first?
I think we got Superman Returns first. And then we got...
Check right now.
Because I think that was in 2005. I kind of brushed up on it, but
2006 was Superman Returns. The following year was Batman Begins.
Oh, okay.
No! Oh, I lied. Batman Begins was 2005.
Oh.
It was earlier. Wow, the gap between the first two Batman was a long time.
Oh, okay.
Because no one likes to make one movie in between when he does a franchise like that.
And then Superman was after that, 2006?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, we haven't... This was the revitalization. Now, during this time, and during that break, there was a Marvel movie, not really marketed as kind of a superhero. It was just kind of an action vehicle, which was a big hit.
Wait, could this be the first true Marvel movie starring a black hero?
That made a shit ton of money. And it starts with a B.
And ends with the Blade 2?
Yeah, well, not Blade 2, but I was going to say Blade.
Blade 2 is the best one.
No, I like Blade a lot.
No, Blade is great. Blade 2 is the best one. GDT, Guillermo del Toro, come on. Ron Perlman.
I'm kind of mixed boat.
I think Blade 2 is definitively better than the first one.
Okay, but
the Blade series was really good.
Yes.
Like, it took itself seriously. It was a hard R.
Yeah. It was an awesome action movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't...
Even the third one with its problems, and it's got problems. It at least puts more or less a definitive end on the franchise. Like, it's not bad.
And this came out in the late 90s.
To early 2000s.
The early 2000s, yeah. And it was a big hit, but it wasn't marketed as really a Marvel superhero thing.
Even now, with everything Marvel's done, it would still be a big pill to swallow to be like, oh, by the way, vampires.
Yeah.
It just would.
You know what? No. I don't think so. Because you got me feeling for a talking tree and a talking raccoon. Why can't there be vampires? Tell me why there can't be fucking vampires.
Tell me why there can't be vampires in this in
the Marvel universe.
I think mainly because that would be on Earth. Whereas the talking, like aliens, like there's a certain amount of separation that we're willing to accept, but... And it lends itself to lots of conspiracy and like shit like behind the scenes on Earth, and it's just
all right.
It would be hard. It would be hard.
But
I think that's the last like thing for them to leap. Like
that, and probably Moon Knight, and probably the lesser Marvel heroes. But anyway, it wasn't marketed though as like it had the logo in it. Stan Lee and what's his face produced it, executive produced it. They did have an association with Marvel, but it's not like what you know when you see the Marvel movies now. Yeah. It's not that big logo.
And it's really interesting because while DC was taking this lull, Marvel started to... Now, not Marvel as we know it today, because Marvel as we know it today didn't actually form until after the first MCU movie.
Yeah.
But Marvel as a brand started to get its shit together. Now,
slowly.
And it should really be noted that... The road was laid by DC. I don't think without people weren't taking these movies seriously. Even after the first Superman movie, they still weren't taking it seriously. It wasn't until Batman '89 where you're like, oh, like this could be for adults. Like this can be dark and pretty serious, and like okay, I can see where this is going.
And then,
then it nosedived.
Yeah.
But it was during this time where it's like, okay, Blade.
Yes.
And they made it a hard R. He's not really a superhero per se. It's vampires, like horror, action, that works. Then X-Men, Fox is like, we're gonna try this.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
2001, right?
No, it's 2000.
2000.
It is the start of the century.
Yeah. Now that's the start of, what would we call this? The Silver Age of superhero movies?
I guess. Yeah, I guess
Right?
you could
Because
say
Golden
that.
Age would be like everything, I guess, from pre-2000.
Yeah.
Wow, Blade is in the Golden Age? That's so strange.
I mean, it was a pretty good movie. I would say, I don't know.
I guess Blade would be considered Golden Age. It's a
Yeah.
long Golden Age from basically
Yeah.
basically the 70s until the 2000s. And then there's all the pre-MCU movies.
Yeah.
And then it's post-MCU. Like, it's just because that is just such a game changer. So we had the first X-Men movie.
Yes.
Made by Fox.
Yes.
And it gave us not one, but two, I would say, of the absolute classic casting. No, three, because we have Magneto.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolverine, as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yes.
Patrick Stewart
Yes.
as Charles Xavier. And
Ian
Eric
McKellen.
Letcher. I mean, like, that casting is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
To the point that, like, two of those people played those characters up until
Even Fankum Jansen.
17 years.
Yeah, Fankum Jansen. Even Halle Berry.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that Hugh Jackman, with the exception of maybe Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, has played that superhero live action
The longest. Yeah.
more times and a longer length than anyone.
Maybe.
Because it's 17 years, man.
Yeah.
Like, that is just insane.
It's
It
crazy.
made his fucking career.
Yeah.
And we almost didn't get it.
Yeah, we almost got Bob Hoskins.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I
You
knew
had
the
no
guy
i-
from Mission Impossible 2 was supposed to be Wolverine.
You had no idea it was supposed to be Bob Hoskins? Do I know something very, very strange and weird that you don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted him because the character
It's supposed to be short.
and like hairy and like bulky, and like that's what they wanted, and they
Now, if we can
Thought
get
he
a
was-
Puerto Rican to play an Italian, we have a good adaptation on our hands.
get me John Leguizamo.
We'll break his hand. He'll get drunk. It's fine. Jeez. So, first X-Men movie.
Yes.
Really good.
It was pretty good, especially for its time
Yeah.
coming out. It wasn't. If you look back at it now, it is definitely. I don't think it holds up that well.
No, but I would say much like Batman 89, this movie comes out, it pokes fun at some stuff, and it's a force for people taking these movies seriously.
Yes.
You know, it had some serious talent, like Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
These are serious fucking actors. Like,
Accomplished actors, yes.
and I think part of the reason that movie had that effect is that opening is one of the best fucking openings to any superhero movie. It opens at Auschwitz.
Oh, yeah.
And it immediately makes you empathize with the villain in a way that it's like, I will say that I think Magneto is, without comparison, the best villain in any comic book ever.
Yeah.
For the sheer purpose of, yeah, I get him. I understand why he thinks the way
doing-
he does, because he's seen this exact thing. He's seen this shit happen for less. He's seen
Yeah.
it happen over blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to think that this shit's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's just,
And then Ang Lee's Hulk, which kind of destroys everything.
there were many side steps along the way. What year was Ang Lee's Hulk?
I think it was 2000 something.
Fuck me.
Because I remember it coming out before Spider-Man.
2003. No, dude. It came out after.
Oh, it came out after.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Now,
I think everybody was on the high of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
which we should talk about because fuck Ang Lee's Hulk. It
fuck
was
Ang Lee's
shit.
Hulk. So, the other character I grew up with was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And I don't think that it is possible for you or I to overstate the importance of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man film.
Also the fact that it's Sam Raimi doing
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
Who's a big comic book nerd. you
Yeah,
said.
I love that man, but this is the movie that I think marked a serious change. Not only did superhero movies become serious. And it's funny because if you go back and watch the first Spider-Man,
Yeah.
it's goofy as fuck at points.
Yeah, it is.
Like the Green Goblin suit is just absurd.
Yeah.
But it was taken pretty seriously,
Yeah.
and it made a shitload of money.
Shitloads.
That's when studios realized, wait, this is like superheroes are legit. Like people
Yeah.
want to see superhero movies. They want to see these characters, and okay, let's do this. And it's crazy. If you go back, I'm sure available somewhere. The original teaser trailer for the first Spider-Man movie,
Yeah, with the Twin
is
Towers.
him catching a helicopter of bank robbers or something in a web between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Which was immediately pulled because 9/11. So,
But I feel like that is like in support of.
I don't think it was a question of support. I think it's just people weren't ready
just
to
too
be
tasteless.
reminded of.
I guess.
People don't realize how movies work. It's like when the fucking shooting happened in Colorado at The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, well,
There was this movie that was coming out called Gangster Squad, which you can't even find the original trailer anywhere.
Oh, really? They pulled it, yeah.
The original ending of Gangster Squad was a
Shootout in
and
the
it looked
movie.
fucking cool. It looked really cool because they shoot through the screen into the audience and they come through and it was like this massive shootout in a movie theater. That was the climax of the film. And then Colorado happened. They were like, "Oh, we really shouldn't do this."
Well,
Nobody pressured them. They just were like, "Guys, no," and they completely reshot the ending.
and I mean, even to the point like Jurassic Park, the new one that came out with the volcano and everything. There's a scene where like Chris Pratt is like surrounded by lava and like barely.
Oh God, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it was like, oh shit, I know that this does not, happen.
I mean, granted,
to
natural
be fair,
disaster. I don't think.
Yeah, nobody could
fortunately,
predicted
I don't,
that.
No. I also don't think anyone's. Fortunately, knock on wood, I don't think anyone's lost their lives yet in the incident.
I know but it's still
People
like,
have lost their homes and everything and their
Yeah.
memories, which is devastating.
It's still
yes.
pretty bad. But you look at that and it's kind of played for laughs, and it's like, ooh, no,
But you know what? Like, I don't think there is any way to get around that.
No, you
The
can't get around
inciting
that.
instant of the movie is a volcano. It's like,
yes.
So
Anyway,
Spider-Man happens.
yes, that's a big turning point.
I think that marks the beginning of modern day superhero movies as they exist. And Spider-Man 2 comes out and is hands down, even to this day, the best Spider-Man movie. Period.
Well, I would say that. No, I know you have a smirk on your face. You thought I was going to say 3. I was actually going to say Spider-Man: Homecoming. I think it's actually out of all of them,
Out of all of them?
the best one.
Well, that's my number 2, so
Oh, okay.
there you go.
But,
Listen, they're
yeah.
both so good.
Yeah.
But, that established all of the iconography of the character. You have that amazing fucking theme by Danny Elfman, which,
Yes.
what happened to superhero themes? Like, it's so hard. Like, there are some good ones still, but, like, one of the last ones that, like, I can really, like, hum is, like,
That's Spider-Man.
the Spider-Man theme.
Yeah.
Like, that was so, like, that was him,
And they screwed Danny Elfman over in the third one, too.
Yeah, Danny Elfman didn't come back for the third
No, he did
one.
come back.
Like,
He-
or he
no,
wasn't
he did it.
credited.
He
I
did
think.
it. And he didn't get credited, you're right.
Yeah.
It was some other guy who came in, and then they had to, like, remix the score, kind of. Not remix, but, like,
Yeah.
retool it.
And now Sony.
That was Sony, yes.
Yeah. Now, up until I think Black Panther, I think Spider-Man is still considered the most profitable character, period.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of box office, and which is crazy because he didn't have that many movies. Like, he
No.
only had 3 movies at the time.
Yeah, well, it's because you were able to
Toys.
recognize him.
Yeah, he's such an iconic looking character.
Yeah.
And even like between the Sam Raimi movies, movie to movie, they really didn't change the suit much.
No.
They like pretty much nailed it the first time, and they were like, okay. And I gotta say, going back and like rewatching them, it's weird when Spider-Man can't articulate and move his eyes. It's strange now.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
Like,
But I still like that they have the white, like, it's like a glass. Kinda.
yeah, there's a sheen to it.
Because whenever I saw, like, the Batman movies, I was kind of attuned more to the animated show. So I
The
thought...
white eyes.
The white eyes.
Yeah. Which
So-
fixed the mascara issue.
Yeah.
Where Batman wears eyeliner,
Yeah.
except for when he takes his mask off.
Yeah. Anyway.
Which I love that scene in Kick-Ass where it shows Nicolas Cage putting on the eyeliner.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, Well, yeah, like that's the stuff they don't show you. Like he would do that before, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
So this was in the middle of that DC break.
Marvel's getting their shit together. All of a
Yes.
sudden, Marvel's got the biggest superhero movie, one of the biggest franchises.
Yes.
Granted, it is Sony putting it out, but it is a Marvel property.
Yes.
That's, what
Yeah.
we're focused on, because DC at the point didn't have a studio. They weren't the ones releasing these movies.
And I'm pretty sure at this point too, that need for, hey, let's get our two biggest superheroes together. So we're gonna reboot the franchises. We're gonna do Superman Returns. We're gonna do Batman Begins. We're gonna kick it off the right way.
And it's funny because one of them is a soft reboot where they're negating a certain amount of the franchise. He's returning! And then one of them is a just straight reboot. He's beginning! Wow, those naming conventions. You guys really fucking thought a long time about that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Interesting enough, this Nolan was not the first concept and the first person to try to take a crack at Batman in this time in between. Another auteur director had a very interesting approach that came Danger Zone close to happening.
Mr. Scorsese, right?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. But no, that's not the one I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I actually wrote a piece about this that I'm looking to get some more concept art for before I release, so it's interesting to watch this video. Aaron Aronofsky, which is not his name. That's the fake director I like to call him, Darren Aronofsky. He, Aaron Aronofsky.
Darren.
Yeah. No, Darren Aronofsky pitched a Batman movie.
Oh, shit.
And it is one of the strangest fucking things I have ever heard. Going back to what you said about Scorsese, his whole take was, it was the Taxi Driver version of Batman.
Oh, shit.
Where Batman was not rich, basically drove around in like a black Cadillac with like a black hockey mask, worked out of a garage run by Big Al, who was his mentor, Alfred, and it was like supposed to be like a brutal, like pretty sure rated R, like great, just like otherworld take on the character.
See,
that is so fucking weird that I kind of wish it happened just to see it.
but that plays into what you wanted Batman to be now.
Yeah, you wanted him to be real. That's it. You wanted him to be real. And that's what we ended up getting.
Well, in a different way.
Yeah, no, in
A much different,
We
more...
wanted him to be grounded. We wanted to look at Batman
Yes.
because he's the one hero who didn't have powers. It was like, that could exist.
He's a human.
Yeah.
He can get... He can
He's
bleed.
a vigilante.
Yes. So that comes out at... It's not... It's a... Critically, it's a hit.
Yeah.
It spreads through word of mouth. And it gets good good praise.
And I think a lot of the reason this worked is they went back to the whole Tim Burton, like, let's get an auteur. Let's get a person with a voice.
Yes.
Nolan was decent at the time, decently
Yeah,
well known.
he's-
In Insomnia and his most famous one, the fucking memory one,
Oh, Memento.
Memento.
Yes.
Like
Those two, yeah.
super good, gritty, like crime drama guy, and
Insomnia basically was like, okay, he can do a studio movie.
Yeah.
Memento is basically like, okay, he can make good art. Let's combine the two and give him a Batman movie.
yeah, and it almost feels like on some level they gave him carte blanche, where it's like just
'Cause
here.
I don't think they cared at that point.
No,
I think after
the value of the character just wasn't there, so they
Yeah.
were like, just like you have an interesting take, like you're the first person to really go into the origin story, and this is before origin stories really existed. Like we got Blade. He's just Blade. He just
his
is.
mother was bit by
Yeah.
a vampire while he was born. Whatever.
There you go. Quickly established, like, or if you did get an origin story, it was like the first 20 minutes, like they get it out of the way.
Like look at Ang Lee's Hulk. It was almost the entire movie.
But that was bad. I'm talking about like Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Like they get it
Yeah,
relatively.
it's 15 minutes
Yeah.
and then bam, let's go.
Now, Batman Begins hits the happy medium of like he almost sat down and like as a concept, I want to justify every single fucking thing on the suit, every single thing that he does. I want it grounded in reality. I want it real. I want people to leave this saying that could happen.
Yeah.
But it worked, unlike Ang Lee. Like we don't see, I think, Batman in the suit until like the 40-minute mark.
Yeah.
But we see the proto bat suit. Like, we see it build up to that.
We
and
see
it's
his training.
satisfying. Yeah.
We see
League
where
of Shadows, which is something no one ever dared touch.
Exactly. It's just weird,
Yeah.
off-brand. I only knew about it because of the show.
And Liam
Neeson was great.
and motherfucking Michael Caine. Once again, getting two very well-respected actors to help
Yes.
ground this franchise.
Yes. Bam.
Oh, and also Morgan Freeman.
And Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, sure.
I like Rutger Hauer.
Tears in Rain.
Yes. We gotta watch that. Add that to the list. Write it down.
Writing it down.
Write it down. Yeah, so then another break happens. For everything, really. I think the last thing that came out during this middle part was Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, which is a very unfortunate mess that Sam Raimi has publicly apologized for, even though...
I like it.
I was going to say, even though I genuinely don't blame him for what happened.
It was a studio movie.
It was, but his whole issue was that he acknowledged that it was studio interference, but he should have walked away.
Yeah.
If he didn't... And I respect him as an artist for coming out saying that. And, you know, they were going to do Spider-Man 4. They were going to do it. It was Vulture, like, he had it all planned out. And ultimately, he went to them and he was like, look what happened to number 3. You either give me creative control or I'm leaving. And they said no. And, like, somebody who I respect, he stuck to his gun and he said, fine. And he walked away.
Good.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I mean, did it leave that particular universe in limbo where you don't know what the fuck happened and it's not a very satisfying ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? If you just ignore the third film almost altogether, I think the ending of 2 is much more satisfying. Because 2 is just so fucking good. Like, 2 is, what up until pretty recently, was like one of the highest grossing fucking superhero movies. Like, within the last 10 years, I think it got dethroned by The Dark Knight.
Well, and will lead into that. The
Yeah.
Dark Knight comes out in 2008, and we're not going to really talk about it too much because, again, this is something that everybody's been talking. Yeah. It literally, it did change everything.
This is the turning point. This is fucking Batman 89 on crack. It is the ultimate version
of the character and the universe.
Of every, but superhero movies in general.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, this is Academy Award material. Like, this is like the godfather of superheroes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still at this point considered almost untouchable.
Yeah.
That no other movies come close.
Yeah.
As close to being that good.
And it truly showed us, it's like, okay, everything before was like, okay, we can kind of take this seriously, but oh, shit, now this is real. This is a real thing, and there's a format there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the darkness and the grittiness that we can apply and use, and it kind of gets twisted later.
Yes, because the darkness and grittiness of The Dark Knight fit the universe in which it was established. It was an established universe of this is reality. This is crime, and
it fits
these are
Batman and that character only.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Yes,
because we're going to come back.
And you know, and much like with Michael Keaton, we have Heath Ledger cast as the Joker, and boy, were people skeptical. And my God, did he silence everyone when you first saw him, because he has replaced Jack Nicholson as the definitive live-action Joker.
Yes.
It is such a specific and such a terrifying performance.
He won, post.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was very sad.
He was incredible, and everything leading up to it is like, oh, this pretty boy can't be the Joker.
I mean, he was scary. You took a character that was silly, listening to Prince, and you made him genuinely scary,
but still funny and still unpredictable. There's moments
you ought to know you paid for it.
Like, there's stuff like that got the audience like off guard. I remember the best audience like screening was, I think it was the second night.
The pencil trick.
Him shooting one of the cops like in the
truck.
In the truck. Yeah. Got the pencil scene and
because they crossed the line. It was like, Jesus Christ, he just fucking killed that guy with a pencil.
I remember like the three people I was that are in front of me were like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, you can like hear them laughing, like uncomfortable, like it's visceral. It gets them.
But that opening scene with him too, where you don't know it's him, and he plays everyone, and it builds up the myth of the Joker, and that's what I love. We don't get an origin story for him, and he is mythological. We don't know. Even he doesn't know.
He's just the storm.
Yeah,
it's just a storm coming through, and Batman not really fighting the storm, just kind of surviving it.
Because that's one of the things, and that's why Joker works as his arch nemesis, is because it's not... Batman can't win against him. He says flat out in that interrogation scene, which is just fucking amazing. It's like, you can't hurt me. I don't care. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to punch me? I don't give a shit. Yeah. He's like, I think you're a joke. Everything you stand for, I am the embodiment of the opposite. Yeah. And it's like, what are you going to do about it?
And I think what cemented that entire movie for me is like, being like, oh, wow. Because I saw it like 5 times.
I saw it so many times.
The best part, I think, that made the movie was like, this is great, was the ending. Not with Harvey Dent, but the end confrontation with them, and he's strung up, and he's like, me and you...
We're going to do this forever.
Yeah, this is us.
Yeah.
This is it.
An immovable object and an unstoppable force.
Yeah, as like...
And also the fact that the Joker, he wins.
Yeah.
Like, he distracts you with the boat, makes you think that. But no, it's like the whole time he's been fucking ruining... He killing joked Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
And, like, the movie ended up being a stealth origin story for Two-Face, which nobody really...
wanted or cared.
But it was great. My God, the Two-Face...
That makeup and that CG.
It wasn't makeup. It was all CG.
It's perfect.
But it's so unnerving because it was so real.
Yeah.
It looked real, and it was like, wow, like you made Two-Face really uncomfortable.
And it fit. Like, it didn't feel forced.
No.
It fit into what was going on. It was like the background stuff, and it was like this big reveal to Batman at the end. Basically, what it was. Yeah.
Because he's so hyper-focused on the Joker that, like...
He forgets all the really important stuff going on.
And, like, the movie, it took some serious fucking risks.
Yeah.
Killing Rachel Dawes.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. No more fucking romance. Like, and in a horrifying way, too. Like, she fucking killed in an explosion. And that ending is real ballsy. And it's morally gray, and that's what I love. It's like peace built on a lie, and it's like... him willing to take the bullet, like willing to be the bad guy. It's the embodiment of the phrase, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Yeah. He became the villain, so Harvey Dent could die a hero, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I love Nolan that he took the criticisms from the first movie, because the first movie had issues. Yeah. Mainly the fighting was abysmally shot.
Well, they take it to,
I understood what they were trying to do, but you couldn't fucking... It was bad. The fighting scenes were bad in the first one.
Like I said, I think we've talked about this before, where the point of it was he's
chaos.
He's in shadow. Yeah. It's supposed to be mysterious.
And maybe you do that for the first fight scene.
Okay, yeah.
But
not all of them.
Yeah, and it was nice that they fixed that in the second one.
It's like a Jason Bourne kind of...
Super shaky cam, too close. They pulled back and they let the action breathe in the second one.
And then more so in the third one.
Yeah.
But 2008, that's when The Dark Knight came out. But then something also came out.
Before we get into that, real question. So we see DC, they killed it on the Batman front. It was absolutely amazing.
That's their
How
peak.
did Superman Returns do?
Not well.
Oh. I used to joke about that movie. I used to say, come watch Superman lift things.
Well, that's what... he is, though. Like, it's even from the 30s. Like I said, busting through a styrofoam wall. He's got all these powers, but they don't really do much with
them. Sorry. You know what? At least that movie didn't age poorly in the sense that, the villain with the kidnapping of the child is, like, creepy in hindsight.
Oh.
At least it wasn't directed by somebody.
Oh shit, it's Bryan Singer again.
The double whammy.
And they took away James Marsden, who I like and is underrated, and probably should have been Superman because he's got more charisma than Brandon Routh.
Well, you know what? At least taking James Marsden and Bryan Singer away from the third X-Men film, leaving Fox, didn't have negative repercussions on the third X-Men movie. It's not like they preemptively killed off Marsden in like the first scene as a fuck you to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that movie wasn't great. Moving on.
Like I said,
2008.
2008.
Great year.
Something else comes out that, again, changes the superhero genre, but kind of under the radar, in a way.
Let me take you back. I want to spin a little yarn, tell a quick tale. But before we do that, we are going to cut it.
Yeah,
here.
We're gonna leave that.
We will continue this in part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of On the Rocks, a conversational podcast about movies. I'm Paul Tonino Braun.
And I'm Dave, and we're going to continue this in part 2 with what started out the history of DC, which is kind of the history of superhero movies in general, which I kind of like more.
Yeah, it's nice.
And we'll continue that in part 2, where we'll watch The Guard.
Starring War Machine.
Just cut the
Have a week, everyone. Watch good movies. Do your thing. Be cool.